Welcome to Bio Planet. As a continuity of lectures, here today we are going to talk about active transport. The last topic for the chapter 3, and then in the next video there will be answer to questions of the exercise. But let's continue with the active transport. Active transport, the movement of molecules and ions in or out of a cell through the cell membrane against the concentration gradient. Now this is against the concentration gradient using energy from respiration. Now, in osmosis and in diffusion, what we have seen, it is automatic. There is no need of energy. When you are going against something, then there is need of energy, there is need of effort. So here we are saying like in or out of a cell through a cell membrane, any molecules or ions. These are moved in or out of the cell against the concentration gradient. Against the concentration gradient mean here we have some sort of ions, like for example nitrate ions. Nitrate ions in the root hair cells. In the root hair cell, nitrate ions are more than the soil, than in the soil. So nitrate ions are more in the root hair than the soil. But still the root hairs need nitrate ions, nitrate or nitrites. So they will absorb these nitrate ions from the root. So from the soil, not from the root, from the soil into the root. So higher concentration of nitrate ions are there in the root hairs, but still they will need it. Plants need nitrates, so they will absorb. But when they will absorb intake of nitrate ion from lower concentration to higher concentration, they need energy, and this energy will be provided by the respiration. This energy will be provided by the respiration with the expenditure of energy which is provided by the respiration, or they will use ATP as ATP is energy rich compound, adenosine triphosphate. So ATP energy will help the plants to absorb. What they will absorb? They will absorb nitrate from the soil, although they have more concentration inside the root hair cells. So this is done by this is helped by the protein molecules. These protein molecules are adaptive. They change their shape accordingly. How they change? Like the shape of the molecule, they acquire it, they take, and then they invert to give it to the plant cell, or they give it to the animal cell, but they use energy. Now as for this transport protein, shape of the protein is like this. Now this shape of the protein, this glucose molecule is outside the cell, but then it will attach itself to the protein as per the shape, and the protein will change the shape of itself also. Now it will move inside the cell. How? This is cell membrane. See the cell membrane of the cell, and the glucose molecule enters the transport protein. It enters here. When it enters, next when it will leave the molecule, See, this door is open at the moment while the entering. Now this door will be closed and the other side it will open. When this will open the other side, now this glucose molecule will enter or leave the cell. Leave the cell. Okay, so either it is entering or leaving the cell. So most of the time it will be against the concentration gradient. Glucose already inside the body, there are more glucose, but if it is needed, it will enter into the body, but there will be use of energy, and this energy will be provided by the ATP molecules by respiration. This is the example of plants. Now let's talk about human being. In human, there is small intestine. Small intestine, glucose C6H12O6 is the formula of glucose. From lumen of the intestine to the villi, it is transported. In lumen, there is less amount of glucose, less concentration of glucose. Glucose is not in a proper amount. So less concentration of glucose from the lumen to the villi, it is transported. But here, actively transported, active transport take part. So actively transported means needs energy, and which is provided by the respiratory activity, respiration, breakdown of food material. And another example from the kidney. From the kidney tubule, glucose is another way it's transported to blood. And you know, in blood there is plenty of glucose. Still it is transported from tubule to blood, actively transported. So here also energy will be used. These are necessary things and cannot be done without the energy. So again, a small review: active transport, the movement of molecules and ions in or out of a cell through the cell membrane against the concentration gradient using energy from respiration, and the examples I have quoted. So in the next video, you can see the solution of chapter 3. All the questions will be solved there. You can watch them. Thank you very much.